Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast. I'm your host, Jared. Dynell and I are coming off of finally a winning week. We have broke the slump. We are back. I'll tell you what, we needed that. We obviously, tough luck on our side with the Chiefs call. Was he, on offsides? Absolutely. Does that play change the game? Or does that penalty obviously change the game? Yes, but does him lining up offsides? There's all this, but that's not here nor there. We were 3-2. That's what matters. Dynell and I, the games we left out, the Bengals, that one hurt. The Jets. Dynell, I'll never forgive you. We left out the Jets, but you know what? Can't always get my way. But yeah, dude, it feels good. We've got our lines for the contest. Surprisingly, we've got the lines for week 15. So we will know exactly what the lines are. Dynell and I will be able to give a better judgment of these lines. I'll admit there are some games that we're probably just not even going to talk about because it's not worth it. We're not going to put it in the contest. We're not going to put $1 on. So just a little bit of a brief warning there. But before we get into our week 15 preview show, let me bring on my co-host, my right-hand man, my dude. Now what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, big dog? What's good? Oh, you feel like a winner? Finally feel like a fucking winner, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had my church organ, I'd be hallelujah, praising to God because we are back in the winning motion, bro. And
I needed it.
Yeah. Let me tell you what. Fuck you for that whole Jets thing. Yeah, I get that. You did call it. You said if we don't play them, we're gonna win this week. So sure enough, they didn't win. They actually beat the brakes off them motherfuckers. They beat the brakes off them, which is crazy enough. But that Bengals pick though too. Trust me. Ooh, I was hot about that pick. Jake Browning came in and put another good performance. Come on, man. Let's get this week rolling. Let me get my shovel. Let's start digging.
All right, here we go. So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Way down top. Oh, what a shot from Curry. That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
Yeah, we've got some interesting games this week, and the first few games are going to be backup quarterbacks. You know where I'm going with this. Let's start off Thursday night, 8:15 p.m. on the East Coast. We have the Los Angeles Chargers without Justin Herbert traveling to the Vegas Raiders with Aiden O'Connell. The Raiders are -3.5 at home. This is ugly, dude. This is ugly. We have the Raiders coming off of a week where they got shut out by the Vikings. Vikings win 3-0. I'm not sure how to feel about this. I've been kind of fade the Chargers this year, but this is difficult because it is a divisional matchup, although it is Easton Stick versus Aiden O'Connell. If you said we were having this matchup week 1, I would think, I don't even know what team you're talking about. But we have Aiden O'Connell at home. He got the nod today. What do you think, Dynell?
You know where I'm going with this, bro. Bumble of the week. Boy,
the first game
this shit stinks. What are we talking, bro? You just said it right there. I have Easton Stick, who sounds like a fucking baseball bat, and I got Aiden O'Connell, who put up no points in the last 2 weeks. I mean, put up what? No, I'm sorry. They put a goose egg up last week. This game, literally, the total points of this game from last week was 0 between the two teams. That is why. Come on. What are we talking about here? And then on top of that, the offense put up 0 points. Not only that, they put up 6 points against the Patriots last week, and the starting quarterback is hurt, and Keenan Allen's not playing.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about here?
We're not going to put it in the contest, obviously, because it's Thursday.
But you like ugly dogs, so I already know you're going to win with this.
Oh, not the dog. I actually like the Raiders.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I just feel like this Chargers team is kind of left for dead. I just feel like there's no leadership on that team. It just doesn't seem like it. Like Herbert's just, is this that much of a downgrade to Easton Stick? Not necessarily. I don't think Herbert's been that much of a difference maker this year. Austin Eckler, the guy who used to be the Christian McCaffrey, he barely finds the end zone. So I surprisingly lean the Raiders here. Not anything crazy. Who knows how this game's going to go? I'm not going to be on it. Most likely won't play $1 on this. We're not going to have it in the contest anyway.
Yeah, nah.
Let's not spend any more time on that shit.
Watch. You know, it's funny. Watch him have a career day. I'm just calling it. This is one of those ugly ass shits.
I wouldn't doubt it. Let's move on to another matchup of backup quarterbacks. We've got Nick Mullins getting the start for the Vikings against Jake Browning. The Bengals are -3.5 at home for the contest. it looks like both Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are going to play. You have Nick Mullins, who's a slightly more accurate quarterback than Josh Dobbs, so that may play favor into Justin Jefferson props. However, we don't know exactly the extent of Justin Jefferson's chest injury. He said he's good to go. Is he going to be on a snap count? Is he going to be running, half the routes? We don't know. That's the problem with this game. Jamar Chase also said he will play this week. He's kind of rejuvenated his fantasy and propage over the last few weeks. He's actually been involved in the offense. He's been making a difference. So that's always good to see. And you still have Joe Mixon back there. You have Joe Mixon, who's just been with the workhorse of the offense. I think I lean the Bengals here. Nothing strong. Do you have any strong opinions?
Bengals. I like the Bengals here. I like
Bengals.
them. Yeah, Bengals. You already know. Very quick. No, Bengals. No, I just like the fact that the way that Jake Browning is looking, man. Like I said, the fact that he looks confident and composed really gives me really a lot of composure. It gives me that Joe Burrow kind of feel. And as long as Jamar Chase is out there alongside with those weapons on the outside, and now that the running game for the Bengals is actually starting to get some love, finally, they're not in shotgun every other goddamn play. That really ties into the Bengals favor with me. I feel like that's going to really elevate this team is the fact that running game is starting to pick up little by little now. And I feel like it's going to finally take off with Joe Mixon. Might get 2 touchdowns this week, honestly. He's been a touchdown machine for him. But yeah, like I heavily lean Bengals. This is one of my favorite picks. But like I said, what's the line? 3.5?
3.5, yeah.
Yeah, it had to be 3.5. It had to be 3.5. No, I still like Bengals here. I actually like the Bengals by his touchdown.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that one more a little bit later this week, and we'll see what happens. Let's move on to if you guys didn't like those backup quarterbacks, how about Mitch Trubisky versus Gardner Minshew? The Colts are -2.5 at home. Pittsburgh on the road. This is obviously going to be is TJ Watt playing or not? Because these contest lines don't change. If TJ Watt plays, I'm all over the Steelers. I've actually made a bet on the Steelers right now. I bet it on, I believe, on FanDuel. I took the Steelers +2.5 strictly because if TJ Watt plays, they might flip to a favorite. They might go to a pick 'em or -1. That's how much of a defensive presence he is. I just think this Colts team has just gotten lucky all year. The Steelers coming off of 2 bad losses. I think this is a get right spot. This Colts offensive line is wishy-washy. And Gardner Minshew isn't the most mobile quarterback. He does like to get out of the pocket sometimes and make plays, but he's not going to, peel wheels on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So we still got to remember that this Pittsburgh Steelers defense is for real, and Joey Porter is going to be one of the biggest probably matchups for Michael Pittman this year. Michael Pittman's really gone against some scrubs. So, and he's been eating this year. I think Joey Porter is definitely going to give him a run for his money. I just don't think Zach Moss is going to get going. I think the Steelers defense, this is why they're a top defense. This is why they're well coached, and they're 7-6. This is a big game for them. I think obviously the stipulation is, does TJ Watt play or not? But if TJ Watt plays, I think we've got to be all over the Steelers.
Well, let me hit you with a motherfucking Dynell bomb since I'm not Woj and shit. TJ Watt is available. Just cleared protocol literally as you was talking. So I got that from which report says TJ Watt available versus Colts. He clears concussion protocol. So literally, bravo. Yeah. So when you get that plus, yes, sir. Watch that.
We got to watch.
Yeah, we got to watch that. We got to watch that. So no, I agree with your whole soliloquy there.
Steelers down to +1.5
already, and them bets are going to come in. That's going to flip. No, it's going to flip. It's going to flip.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to flip. So yeah, I definitely like the Steelers here, especially at plus money. The contest line's +2.5. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might just got to take that because of the Steelers. Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about that more. But you hit it right on the nail, my guy. Hit it right on the nail.
Cool. Let's move on to the Saturday night game. The Denver Broncos +5.5 on the road, traveling to Detroit. The Lions at home, obviously -5.5. What are your feelings on this game?
I'm tipping my toes in the pool water. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see what the temperature is. I don't know how it feels restaurant yet. This offense has been struggling. This Detroit Lions offense has struggled a bit, even at home, especially against the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. We always love mostly Dan Campbell, and of course you always love Jared Goff at home in the dome. But I don't know. At 5.5, I feel like the number set at 5.5, considering the fact that, like I said, the recent struggles as it is. I am, like I said, I'm really I like to lean the Lions here, like I said, because I got a lot of favorable matchups here, a lot of favorable plays. But like I said, I truly don't know at the moment where I would kind of lean. I mean, I don't know. Detroit's looked shaky these past couple weeks.
Yeah, I just feel like this number's just got so high where it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like Jared Goff, he's looked rough the past few weeks. So
Yeah.
laying 5.5, even though it's at home, it just, I don't know, prime time. Like, I don't know. I definitely think this most likely won't be a contest play for us. So we're not going to spend too much time, but who knows? Maybe we'll find something that we like, maybe a stat or something. But as of right now, I'm not too fond of either side. Moving on to the first Sunday game, 1:00, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Green Bay and face the Packers. Packers -3.5 at home.
Boy, oh boy.
Packers coming off of a big loss.
Yeah.
They lost to New York straight up.
Yep.
Me and you were on the Giants on the leans.
+6, easy.
Yeah, and they went outright. I don't know. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield game-winning drive, takes them down, scores, and then the Falcons almost come back and they blow it on the 4-yard line. So the Buccaneers team they're just so explode or implode. Like they are going to make an 80-yard play and score a touchdown to Mike Evans, or they'll go out there with 17 seconds left and almost lose the game. They're hard to find the spot. Now, before this Giants game, when I was looking at the look-ahead line, I was all over the Buccaneers. I was like, this is a great spot. Packers are cruising. They should win tonight. But now that the Packers lost last week, it's kind of giving me some hesitation. I am not too big on the Buccaneers as much as I was. I just feel like now the Packers could be a bounce back spot. I'm just not really too keen of this spot for either of these teams. What are you thinking?
You know what I'm thinking? Now, you know me. I love me some Tampa Bay plus money, boy. Anything Tampa Bay plus 2.5, 3.5, I am literally on it if it's a nice little close game. I've been hitting on Tampa Bay a lot this year, personally. But I am a little skeptical about this. That quarterback you said that wasn't real, that motherfucker was real that day. Good God. Yeah. 374 yards. That is very, very alarming. Now, granted, we've been talking about this Buccaneers defense all year. You have brought up the point. You have brought out the fact that the secondary has looked very shaky. I mean, very, very shaky. I mean, different types of quarterbacks, but that one's very concerning with me. No offense. Desmond Ridder had no business throwing for 374.
Oh, no, for real.
No, absolutely no, has no business. Now, granted, bend don't break. I mean, he only threw one touchdown pass and still threw a pick. But 374 yards is very concerning. Now, like I said, we've been talking about how Jordan Love in the recent weeks have been starting to really get into it. Big wins against Detroit on the road, and putting up good numbers against the Chiefs the following week. But you'll say after a down week like that, when you lose that type of game, bro, that kind of saps momentum out of it. But what I think of Jordan Love is, like I said, I feel he continues that improvement in that trend against that atrocious Tampa Bay passing defense. If anything, like I said, the key number is what kills me. 3.5, right?
Yeah, if you're getting the hook, it's almost like forcing us to pick the Bucs.
Yeah, literally, absolutely, literally. So these are ones you kind of, for me personally, I would stay away from because it's like, damn, this is a little too good to be true for the Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like when they're giving us the hook, it's almost like take me.
Take me, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll look into it a little bit more, but I think I agree with you. I lean more in the Bucs here. I just think this is, it's a good spot for them, but who knows how the Packers respond here. Mm-hmm. To the NFC South division matchup, we have the Atlanta Falcons -3.5 on the road, plus or against the Panthers. Panthers are +3.5 at home. Dude, I'm sorry, but when I look at this line, I'm pretty sure this opened at like 5 or something. Like
no idea.
I'm pretty sure maybe not. I don't know. But the Panthers. Dude, it's the Panthers. The Panthers are. I know they're 1-12.
I knew you were about to say this shit.
But listen.
I know.
This seems like the Jets from last week. This number is suspiciously short. It's suspiciously short. Like 3.5 versus a Panther. Dude, I tell you right now, I know the score doesn't reflect this, but if you watch the game like I did, because I was heavily invested on the
I watched the game too. Trust me, I was watching it too. It was close to the 4. It was close to the 4.
I bet the Panthers money line, okay? And you know that.
Yes.
The Panthers, dude, every single time they had a promising drive, getting down into the red zone. It stalls out. They fumble. Bryce Young takes a sack. Miles Sanders breaks off for a 50-yard run to the 1-yard line. What did they go out there and do, Dynell? Every other team is doing the push. Oh, no. We're going to go shotgun and take a 4-yard loss on a run play and then take a sack and then a dead play on third down. So we kick a field goal when we were first and goal at the 1-yard line. That's just the story of the season for the Panthers. Now, listen. Are the Panthers the right side? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I think I can make you guys bet it? I can't. I would feel too guilty if I said bet the Panthers this week. But we're betting the damn Panthers this week. Come on, baby. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Listen, 3.5. That is disrespectful to the Falcons. That just makes me like the Panthers even more. This number makes no fucking sense.
It don't. Oh my God, bro.
Dino, I'm just gonna let you know the Panthers get their second win of the season this week.
And that's the crazy thing. I believe it. That's the sad thing about it. Like,
hey, you called it though. Desmond Ridder just threw for almost 400 yards.
Yeah, and it's like I said, don't worry. Like I said, I'm gonna help you out here. I can't stand the Atlanta Falcons to save my fucking life. All right, so I want to put that out there. Arthur Smith is a bonehead. To me, he's a complete bonehead. Now, he continues to lose games he's supposed to win. It's like it's always there, and then it pulls it back. Like, I don't get it. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Jared is absolutely right. Watching that Panthers game through and through, it was a fucking 9-point game for no. It was like 14-6, right? So 8-point game. It was an 8-point game all the way to like the fourth quarter with 9 minutes left, and everything just implodes. The fucking Panthers go for it on fourth. Didn't get it. Big play to Kamara. I think it was a big play to Olave deep down the field.
Yeah, Olave.
And then Olave scored in that drive. And ever since then, I turned that game off because I knew that shit was over. Then, of course, they scored again, and it got out of hand. That Panthers defense is definitely stingy, and they deserve a little more credit than what they get. It's the mental errors. Now, but you already know. You know where I lean at. You know I'm gonna rock with you, bro. At the end of the day, you know I'm going to rock with this.
I'm not saying we have to put him in the contest. I just want to say we got to consider it. I'm hoping that we have 5 better ones. I'm hoping. Trust me, I'm hoping.
I might. At the end of the day, I might put in the contest anyway, bro. Because I can't lose. I can't now. If you're on it, you're on it. Last week with the Jets, really, truly. I honestly, truly watched that game pissed off, like that fucking meme of Captain Marvel. I forgot, was it Captain Marvel sitting there in the movie theater? His fucking like hearing goes silent. Like it's like in a PTSD and shit. He's like watching the screen. I'm like, wow. Imagine that.
Yeah,
so
the Jets came to life last week.
Yeah, yes, they fucking did. Zach, you know what I said? It was Zach Wilson. It was Zach Wilson, bro. I told you. I did say in the preview. Now that Zach Wilson's back, I do feel better about that. And sure enough, he balled.
Yeah. Let's move on to the New York Giants are traveling to the Saints. The Saints are -5.5 at home. I'm not gonna lie, this number has thrown me for a loop. Because listen, don't get me wrong. I want to fade the Giants. Like, I want to fade the Giants. This Tommy DeVito shit, everybody thinks, I'm sorry, the guy sucks. All right, let's be realistic here. We're not, the story's cool. The agent dressed up as a mafia guy or whatever that, or some, the Italian dude. Apparently that's how he dresses all the time. So that's even funnier. But we got to be realistic here, guys. Tommy DeVito sucks. Okay. He sucks. Has he kind of shined and come to late the past few weeks? Yeah. But we still have to know what this guy is, and he's a trash quarterback. And the reason why he was the 3rd on the depth chart, and the only reason he's getting playing time is because everybody around him is getting hurt. It's a cool story. It's the only thing the Giants kind of have to play for at this point, and I want to fade them. The problem is the team that they're playing is the also other team that I've been wanting to fade all fucking year, the New Orleans Saints. They just can't convert in the red zone. I mean, what? You're telling me Jimmy Graham had 2 touchdowns last week? And yeah, it was kind of garbage time where they were running the score up, which is kind of the punk-ass team they are against the Panthers.
Yeah, he lost that one ball.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, Jimmy Graham is cool. But, like, I don't think I can touch this game. There's just nothing on each side where I can take it and confidently say, oh, I feel like this is the right side. I feel like we've got an edge. I mean, what about you?
My boy, Tommy, give me real quick. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss in the neck. Tommy, I enjoy you. I enjoy the fun you play football, my boy. You win me money. You won on a 3-game win streak with the Giants. You beat the Commanders. You beat the Patriots. You beat the Packers. And the Packers were hot. That's what we're talking about. What's crazy about it last week was we was talking about how we were +6.5 with on the Giants side against the Packers. Bro, just that's the exact reason why I believe you should take the points against the Saints, bro. I swear.
I can't.
What are we talking about? We're just talking about the same team who played the Panthers and was only up 14-6 against a terrible team who went 0 for 4 on fourth down. Let's not forget that. 0 for 4 on the fourth down and got -3 yards after getting a bomb play to the 1-yard line from that point of the drive. Come on. I honestly like the Giants here, bro. I know you want to trust me. I don't want to pick these fuckers either. And like I said, Tommy Vito is ass. He really is ass. But they just got a certain feel. They just got a momentum to him right now, man. And this comes back to coaching. Now I don't know where the coaching was the first fucking 7 to 8 weeks of the fucking season, but it seems like that coaching has found that sweet spot between the defense and offense to really get them going. And this Giants defense right now is playing like no other. They're not playing like jokes out there, man.
It's suspicious. That's all I'm gonna say.
It is. Trust me, it smells like an Italian sub shop. But hey, I mean, it is what it is, bro. I right now, I'm rocking with him right now, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right.
I feel like the wave continues here, bro. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Okay. I trust me. I understand.
It stops next week, though.
Oh,
it stops next week, though.
You're damn right. All right, moving on to the next game. The Houston Texans are traveling to Tennessee to face on the Mike Vrabel-led Titans. Titans are -2.5 at home. My boy Will Levis came through against the Dolphins. Dude, I know we like backing Mike Vrabel as a dog, but we also like backing Mike Vrabel at home. We need to get clarification whether CJ Stroud is going to play or not.
That's yes, 100%.
If he is out, please. We got to put the Titans in here. I love the Titans this week.
Yes,
one of my favorite plays. The biggest thing is, who do the Texans have as the backup quarterback? Davis Mills. Who's the reason they got CJ Stroud? Also, Davis Mills. This team would be ass with Davis Mills. He's not as mobile. He's not as confident. He's not as great as a passer. And he has all his playmakers are hurt. You know, like CJ Stroud has obviously given these guys an opportunity, like Tank Dell, who's hurt, unfortunately. Nico Collins, who's also hurt, unfortunately. I mean, we're going to have Davis Mills throwing to, Dalton Schultz and Robert Woods?
Is Dalton Schultz even playing?
I don't even know. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know. So, I mean, we have to take the Titans in the spot, right?
Oh, yes. Most certainly, my boy. I'm rocking with you. Like I said, oh, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. The way that motherfucker been playing right now, I might gotta try that coffee and mayo. He came back nice and well last week. I'm not trying that shit, honestly, 100% of God. But, I feel you 100% here. And like I said, they're at home. And like I said, they are a favorite. And to be honest, rightfully so. The only reason why the Houston Texans got life is no offense is CJ Stroud. Let's be 100% real here. Let's be really real. Will Anderson gives them a spark on defense, but they need to score. Davis Mills is not that guy. Obviously, you went and got the number 2. You got CJ Stroud and picked him for a reason. Now, granted,
Titans defense looked really good versus the Dolphins too.
Oh yeah. Against that speed, I was very surprised. Very surprised. They handled the speed very, very well, and that's a team who actually gives up big plays, which is mind-boggling. But here's what I'm gonna say: at the end of the day, this Texas team can't run the ball, and with CJ Stroud off that field, they need to run the ball. All right, simple and clear as day. Like I said, I'm definitely with you with Tennessee, rocking with Tennessee, favorites, -3, all that. As of right now.
Yeah, I'd rather put my money on Derrick Henry other than Devin Singletary any day of the week.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've got an interesting one here. We have the Chicago Bears traveling to Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns at home, -3.5. Joe Flacco has resurrected. He is in Newark with the Fighting Delaware Blue Hens tearing up the University of Maine. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Joe Flacco shit on the Jaguars last week. I like the Bears here. I like the Bears. Yes. Are the Browns defense at home scary? Yeah. But I feel like Justin Fields has this, not necessarily like veteran, but this advanced movement in the pocket, and he feels pressure. I feel like he does a really good job of escaping the pocket when he gets under pressure, and that's what obviously the Browns, they get pressure on the quarterback. So Justin Fields is gonna, prop wise, he's gonna run a lot. Like, he's going to take off a lot. Myles Garrett is going to wreak havoc. So Justin Fields will be on the move a lot. That's a plus. Another plus is DJ Moore is basically 1A and 1B with Justin Fields. They are on the same page no matter what. They went out there and they looked pretty good versus the Lions. And on top of that, I think a biggest thing why I like the Bears is because, honestly, the Browns kind of look like they got lucky last week. Like, Trevor Lawrence, a little bit of like weird interceptions. Joe Flacco actually I think he threw an interception that almost put the Jaguars in a chance to win that game. And at the end of the game, Doug Peterson goes for 2. So it looks like the Browns cover when realistically they should have not covered. We know Dougie P goes for the win. He goes for 2, so the field goal wins the game. But realistically, they lose that game by 3 if they do, what a normal team does. And the Browns don't cover. But because the Brown covers, I think this line's a little bit inflated. Like, I feel like this should be, 2.5. I feel like because the Browns, quote unquote, covered last week, it's 3.5. I think that's why I like the Bears this week, Dynell.
My boy, good job. I love it. I love everything about it. Justin Fields, the way he maneuvers in the pocket, it's really a sight to behold. Like the way he was maneuvering against the Lions when they brought a little bit of pressure in there, dip, dodge, go, run, find a play down the field here and there, run for 20 yards here, 10 yards here. The first quarter, he had 40 yards? 45 rushing yards. It was insane, man. Like, I like the way he gives that offense opportunities and chances, and you can tell he's starting to see the field a little bit better more and more each week. I am starting to like Justin Fields more and more each week by week. DJ Moore being there only elevates him even more. Like I said, they're always on the same page. They get the job done. And like you said, this defense, boy, what have we been talking about this defense since that Montez Sweat trade? Boy, they get after it.
I'm telling
you. They get
man.
after it. Oh my gosh. I really do like the Bears here +3, bro. And on top of that, on the Brown side, they do like that defense, but their starting safety, Grant Delpit, is out for the last 4 weeks of the season. So that's I lean there for the Bears. And like I said, man, it just makes sense. Right to me right now, the Bears +3 is a money play. Honestly, right now, they've been, like I said, every time you see +3, +3.5, bro, they've been on it. They have been on it. They've been playing really tough these past few weeks.
The next game, the New York Jets are traveling to Miami. The Jets defense last time they faced Tua wreaked havoc. This number's at 9.5. It's dropped to 8.5 in a lot of books for a contest line, obviously locked. I mean, I'm going to lean the Jets, but this isn't one that I'm not necessarily as strong as opinionated on compared to the last few weeks, because I feel like the Dolphins just kind of had a wake-up call last week. Now, the biggest thing is we need to figure out how extensive Tyreek Hill's injury is. I know he taped it up, but after the game, there's going to be, swelling and shit. We need to see how he goes through the, we got to monitor his practice window throughout this week because they played Monday, so they're going to have Tuesday off. And then we kind of monitor like today and tomorrow if he's, suiting up or not suiting up, but like, if he's a full participant or not. We definitely need to monitor this. Now, if Tyreek Hill does not play or he's limited to an extent, we've got to jump on the Jets just because of the fact that now we're getting Sauce Gardner on Jalen Waddle and the rest of the offense. You saw it. You saw it when Tyreek Hill went out. The Titans, honestly, there wasn't many places where shit, okay, Titans got beat. And like you said earlier, the Titans were they're a shitty pass defense team. So you have the Jets who are damn near top of the pack in pass defense. Now their rushing defense is a little suspect. That's kind of their Achilles heel of their defense. They're just big and they got some run stuffers, but they're not going to limit the run all game, especially when you got a two-headed monster back there for Miami. Also, the game's in Miami, so that kind of does give me some pause too. So I'm not heavily favored on either of these sides. I would lean the Jets, but I think the biggest stipulation is, does Tyreek feel good? Does he play? And how much does he play?
Nah, yeah, and you hit it right on the nail. Like you said, man. Like I said, Cheetah is still Cheetah, but Cheetah turns more into a Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? A Jaguar is still fast, but it's not as explosive, right? So at this point of time, when you're talking about a Jets defense, I mean, like I said, they stomped C.J. Stroud and the Texans last week, and they're feeling riding high, feeling good. And yes, they're on the road, but they're ready to ruin some parties right here, man. Like you said, they're playing against a Miami team with division hopes against a division rival on top of that. This is definitely going to be a tougher game than what it was last time against Miami. And Tua and like I said, Tua did not look too hot against the Jets, even though they won 34-13, So I feel like that number was a little bit inflated. That's the reason why this line is starting to move down, because I feel like the Jets are kind of like the people's favorite right now. I would, like you said, I'm with you. I would lean Jets, but I would stay away from this game as a whole. I feel like division implications really put this into a high-risk situation for Miami.
Gotcha. Moving on to the next game, we have the Chiefs traveling to New England to play the Patriots. Patriots are +9.5 at home. Dude, I mean, I've
been waiting for this. I've been waiting to hear what you're going to hear but say about this. I ain't gonna lie.
The right side's the Patriots.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, even when the Chiefs were on cruise control, me and Dynell always faded the Chiefs with a big spread. They just don't seem to cover them. This team they just don't, like, second half, they start playing the clock. They don't look to kill teams. Like, that's the one thing the Chiefs do. They rarely kill teams. The last time they killed a team was, I think, the Bears, maybe. But this team,
Raiders
they
by
just
double digits, but they didn't kill them. They dropped
they never like kill teams. They play very strategic in the second half to almost not let the other team have an opportunity to catch up. That's kind of how the Chiefs play. So, the one factor is, are the Patriots going to put up points? The Chiefs have not scored 20 points, I think 6 times this year, which is nuts to think about. The first, few years of Patrick Mahomes' career, I'm pretty sure he only scored. So the first 4 or 5 years of Patrick Mahomes' career, a total of 6 times he didn't score 20 points. Well, they've done 6 times that this season. So, this offense is definitely not necessarily on a decline, but they're just lacking the explosiveness. Yeah, they have some playmakers on offense that are, shooting themselves in the foot and costing them points and penalties. And, it's just making it harder. And you can kind of see the frustration has gotten to Patrick, because when this stuff has happened previously, he's kind of like, okay, it is what it is. We'll find a way, blah, blah, blah. But you kind of saw it boil over last week. He started talking to Josh Allen, saying it was bullshit call, bitching at the refs, and he has come out and publicly apologized. But that, you saw the human element finally of Patrick Mahomes. Is that good? Was this maybe a wake up call? Did he go to the receiver room and say, start getting on their ass? Like, who knows? Because a lot of that shit's done behind closed doors. But maybe this is kind of like this, the breaking point for this team, or this is the way that they, flip the script. I'm not sure. I like the Patriots, but I'm not 100% sold on it because I don't know what I'm getting out of this offense. You just saw Bill Belichick is not expected to return next season. Who knows how that plays? Is this, he just goes out here and doesn't care, or does he go out there and kind of put on a show like this is what you're losing? What do you think? I'm kind of like torn on this.
Nah, 100% torn, bro. 100% torn. The Patriots are in disarray and they won last week. That kind of speaks a lot. It speaks a lot of volume to me. Patrick Mahomes, like you said, the watch his emotions boil over was definitely surprising. He usually keeps his cool, like you said, and like I said, like this, like seeing that frustration is like, wow, yeah, like this has gotten bad. Like this has really gotten bad. My only thing about it is, I feel like when a person shows that emotion, that's their breaking point of, all right, motherfuckers, it's time to get this shit going. Like you said, man, come on. Like, what's going on here? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Let's get in our spots. Let's get this shit going. Let's get it right. And one thing I know about Patrick Mahomes is always due for an explosion. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe not against his Patriots defense, but I mean, I also seen the Saints score 34 in this defense too. So it's too, like I said, I do lean Patriots only because it's a big spread. And like I said, the Chiefs are more of like a cruise control type team, kind of just bits and pieces, just kind of bits and pieces in the beginning and okay, let's go in the end and, just barely hit the finish line. But I'm afraid of an explosion. So that's why I'm kind of torn about it.
So I think the biggest thing is Patrick Mahomes going to take that last week personal and just come out here and throw the ball 70 times on the Patriots? He very well could. Him and Andy Reid are one of the most creative tandems in the league right now, and they may just go out there and say, you know what? Who can't throw the ball? And Patrick Mahomes throws for 500 yards. So this might be one we stay away from, but realistically, if we got to take a side, we got to jump on the Patriots. We got to take the points. We got to stick to our guns here. We can't be cats. Come on.
Yeah, can't be flip-flopping.
Yeah. So let's move on to the 4:00 games. Washington traveling to Los Angeles to face the Rams -6.5. Dude, I'm sorry, Dynell. I'm all out on the Commanders. Yeah. I don't know if I can lay 6.5 with the Rams. I do like the Rams. Like I was big on the Rams to start the season. I like their win total. I gave them a sprinkle on the division and Super Bowl. I'm just out on the Commanders. I don't know if that means I'm betting the Rams or like the Rams, but I really don't even have much to say about this game.
Rams by 30. At this point, Jared, let me sum this up. Let me sum this up for you. There is no fight no more. There is absolutely no fight no more. They are absolutely finished. I got Chase Young coming out saying that. I got Chase Young calling us out. I got Montez Sweat saying that he's used to waiting for the end of the year. Good God. What the fuck are we talking about? This is what the tenure with Ron Rivera has been behind closed doors this whole time. It's starting to show its light now. And you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad Josh Harris can see this. That's a bunch of a fuck-ass meltdowns what's going on right now. This is ridiculous. I got offensive players still crying about being worked when they're fucking losing. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, we're going to work too goddamn hard. But yeah, we're fucking losing. So yeah, I'd rather just stick to what I am and stick to what I know and continue to get beat. That's not the fucking culture of winning at all. This culture has no culture. Matter of fact, Josh Harris has brought a different light to the organization. He has not brought a culture change yet. That takes time. At this point right now, I'm all out on Commanders, bro. Defense, offense. I mean, it really depends on Eric Bieniemy because he throws fucking screens every goddamn play. As you've seen a fucking defensive lineman pick six that bitch off and took it to the end zone. And then you have Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell arguing at each other.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is you want to talk about this is probably the worst situation in the NFL. Honestly, it's a dumpster fire. This is a dumpster fire.
Nothing's worse than the Panthers. Don't be so hard.
All right, okay. Let me put it like this. All right, 1B is the Commanders.
All right, I'm just gonna stop you because I know you'll go on like Commanders suck. Maybe we'll be on the Rams. I don't know. It's a big spread. I will say though, I think the Commanders either need to move on from Rivera and just make Bieniemy the head coach, or they might lose them both next offseason. I would not be surprised if Bieniemy just gets out of there while he can. Moving on to a divisional matchup, we had the 49ers traveling to Arizona, Cardinals plus 13.5 at home. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably not going to be on this game. You're not going to get me with this big ass spread because we know we already know. The Niners might be up 21-0 after the first quarter. I don't like Kyler Murray. I don't like this Cardinals offense. They suspiciously stay in games, but this could just be the game because the Niners are just cruising, that the Cardinals just don't have any answers for them. So, like usually I like back in the Cardinals when they have James Conner and Kyler Murray's there, but realistically, James Conner is not going to be able to do anything against this Niners defense. So I'm going to stay away from both sides unless you say otherwise.
Brandon Ayuk, 2 touchdowns. That's the best you're getting out of me. Touchdown props.
Okay, well, that feels good because I don't want to back the Cardinals. And if Ayuk has 2 touchdowns, I mean, the Niners probably have 40 points. Moving on to my favorite game of the week. The Dallas Cowboys are facing the Buffalo Bills.
Get spicy, boy. Get spicy.
Okay, this might take, I'm not going to let this go too long, but I do want to just throw this out there. I like the Bills this week. I love the Bills.
Yes. Okay.
The line has kind of moved against me, but hear me out. Obviously, the line's going to move against a team when every single person is out on this team. Everybody's out on the Bills. For those who play fantasy, who's the number 1 quarterback in fantasy? It's Josh Allen. For those of you guys who pay attention to the Bills, what do? They get in shootouts. They win shootouts. Obviously last week it was not a shootout versus the Chiefs because the Bills went out there and just handled business. And that's what Josh Allen does. He finds ways to win. He's had some tough luck the past, this year. This team is 7-6 and might have had some of the worst losses this year. They lost week 1 to the Jets after Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Zach Wilson goes in there and torches them. They lose to the Patriots when this Bills could not score a touchdown in the second half. They've had some weird losses, but I will tell you what, this team, as I know Josh Allen has Sean McDermott's back. He's out there, he's like, how are you going to question his character? This guy goes to battle for us every single day. You can tell by his tone of his voice that he's not giving up on his coach the way some people think that this Bills team is out on Sean McDermott. You saw it last week. The Bills went out there and yes, were they one bad play away from the Chiefs? Yeah. But does that necessarily scare me? I don't know, because I feel like they're going up against the Cowboys team that, they just torched the Eagles last week, but they kind of are on their high horse. And I feel like this is where they get the reality check. I've gone so far as to support the Bills that I've also just bet Josh Allen at 18-1 to win MVP. I threw some money on the Bills to win their division because I think they're going to be in cruise control for the rest of the year. I think they start piling some wins together. And B, I don't know the extent of Tyreek Hill's injury, so I think I'm getting some really good value at plus 300. And I also kind of threw in some Super Bowl bets for the Bills. I just think this is a good spot to start backing the Bills. I just really think because the last few years everybody was on the Bills, and these were the spots. Everybody last year, the year before, Bills easy. Yep. For some reason, everybody's always against them, and I feel like this is why we need to back this team. I think they have a statement game in Buffalo against the Cowboys on their high horse. People are talking about Dak Prescott for MVP. Give me a fucking break. I love the Bills this week, Dynell.
Nah, I love the Bills too, my boy.
Let's go.
So yeah, trust me. I've loved the Bills this week too because all that little sauce you put on that with your little parlays and your little Super Bowl talk and your MVP talk already got a little for that. That's why I said earlier when we was talking that was probably one of the smartest bets you put out there. I really feel like now is the time to hop on the Bills bandwagon, as crazy as that sound. This defense has been depleted, but they're still finding ways to win. Josh Allen throws picks. Well, guess what? You know what's funny? You remind me of Darren Orlovsky earlier, talking about all that spewing, all that stuff going on. Let me say this. Darren Orlovsky did have a great point. We talk about Josh Allen's interceptions all the time, me included. I am guilty of that. The last 3 Super Bowl winners were top 3 in interceptions. Mahomes was third when he won the Super Bowl. Stafford was number 1 when he won the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow was up there. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but Joe Burrow was up there. All these top names we're talking about, they take chances. What does Josh Allen do? Takes chances. And me, as a commentator, have to realize that. That's what makes Josh Allen. But that's what also makes big plays come out and spot when they need it. The Dallas Cowboys are prone. Guys, I kid you not. I am still not sold in that second. I'm not sold on Bland just yet. I feel like he is still a little bit of a weakness that got exposed against Seattle that previous week. And on top of that, this is in Buffalo, cold. You're not in a dome. You're not at a comfy old home, open Jerry's world with a big-ass Jumbotron on the screen. I'm letting you know right now, I'm strong on the Bills this week.
The hungry dog runs faster. Ain't that right?
Yes, sir.
And the Bills are desperate. They are playing for their playoff chances. So that speaks volume to me. Like, I think you just got to back the Bills. You got to, hold your nose because it might be ugly. This might be an ugly game. It might truly be an ugly game. Could it be a shootout? It could be, but I really think this is where the Cowboys kind of get I think they get checked this week. So.
Yo, I'm letting you know. Dallas fans already know.
Yeah, I think the spread, Vegas opening this at 2.5. I think that says something.
Yeah.
Moving on to Baltimore and Jacksonville. Jacksonville plus 3.5 at home. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is a little banged up. He's tough as shit for playing, but that's no joke to play on that. He took a few hard hits the other game. So who knows the extent of his injuries? I just don't really like backing Lamar as, 3-point or more favorite. Just historically, he doesn't cover those as much as you'd think. And he's on the road. So I think this is more so of a stay off game for me. I kind of wanted to lean Jags, but the uncertainty around Trevor Lawrence it kind of makes me hesitate. What do you think?
No, I'm right there with you. My boy Greg, who I brought up last week in the podcast, being a Justin Herbert fan, he is also a Ravens fan. And I was talking to him. I said, my guy, what's crazy about this game is when you look at Baltimore going against Jacksonville, you like Baltimore easy. But in reality, y'all boys just sometimes just have that one game, that one drive. You're up leading the whole game, and all of a sudden you lose it. Little things like that. And they have done it again this year. Let's not get it twisted. Remember when that complete meltdown against the Browns up double digits? That was wild. That was wild to me. I feel like them going into Jacksonville, who's, like I said, is banged up. I mean, hungry, desperate now because the Colts are right on their ass and the Texans are right behind them. And the Titans, Titans are like 5-8, but you get my point. It's a dogfight right now in that division right now. And like you said, hungry dogs perform, baby. When you got your backs against the wall, you play your best football. Now, granted, like you said, Trevor Lawrence is banged up, but ETN has to step up, and I feel like he has the opportunity to do that. Is Christian Kirk still out? Is he back?
He's on the IR, I believe.
He's on the IR. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, but at the end of the day, since his absence, Evan Ingram has definitely stepped up, and Calvin Ridley's gonna have to work wonders, man. Like I said, as a spread, I lean with the points. As a money line, I do lean with the Ravens because the Ravens are rolling right now and they're in a good position. But backdoor potential is running wild in this game. I would stay away from it.
Yeah, I kind of think this is a game the Jaguars need to win. There's that division's still competitive. I know CJ Stroud just got hurt, so it's kind of like iffy. But I mean, you just can't count. Can't count the Texans out. I think. Depend on the extent of his injuries. But regardless, I think this is a game the Jaguars, obviously after last week, that they got their fingers, pointed on. So, not too strong in either way. Probably won't be in our contest. So let's move on to the Monday night game that got flexed. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are plus 3.5 at home. We don't really know who we're getting yet, so this is kind of hard for me to make a decision on. I'm going to lean with the Eagles just because, this is almost like the Bills. Like, this team still has a chance to win the division and get the 1 seed. In my opinion, this is the game where they win the division or not. If they win this game, they have manageable games where they should handle for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. But it's going to come down to this game, because if they drop this one, I believe Dallas will win the tiebreaker. But also not 100% sure. I do think this is a very important game for the Eagles season, though. If they want to have home field advantage or even have a shot at the 1 seed, it's got to start here. So I think these last 2 losses, we're going to see the character of this team. We're going to see the leadership. We're going to see, does this team put their money where their mouth is? And we'll just have to find out Monday night. This probably won't be a contest play, just because unless we get some information that just is overwhelming, like, Geno Smith is out, Kenneth Walker's out. We're not 100% sure yet. We're gonna have to wait for that. Early lean them on the Eagles. What about you, Dynell?
This is tough. This is tough. Like you said, if we don't know who's playing quarterback yet, but this Eagles defense has I'm scared now. I feel like I'm still at that point where I'm okay. There's a little panic going on with this
fucking defense is so predictable.
Yeah, it's predictable. It's banged up. It's depleted. Like I said, I keep telling people, I'm not really worried, because this has been six going on 7 straight weeks of tough, competitive top 10 football. Like you said, they played 5 out of the top 10 teams: Bills, Chiefs, Cowboys
and that's
twice,
the thing too.
49ers. You guys are going against a gauntlet at the moment, and you're on the road for this. I think this is your last. This is your last toughest game that you have on the schedule. Like, this is the one where it's like, okay, after this, it should get easier down the road. It becomes an easy path, and it's on the road in Seattle, and we know how Seattle gets. Like I said, I would lean Eagles because, like I said, I've seen this team in positions before. They find ways to win. And this is not a team that's going to put up OD amount of points on an OD amount of points, as I've shown. But like I said, that's rough. This game is rough. But we're going to see a lot from the Eagles here if they're going to win this division.
Yeah, there's several games that we're waiting on some injury news. It's just to that point in the year where a lot of these teams, they're breaking down. So we got to see who's going to toughen it out. I mean, we're getting into some serious, playoff clinching game opportunities. So maybe next episode will come with like some spicy parlay opportunities, because instead of betting a team to clinch, what I would do is you would get better value if you bet the situation, like put the situation into a parlay. If you just bet the team to clinch, then you're being lazy, so they're gonna fucking take a discount. So if I find a couple good spots, I will let you guys know. But that's been our week 15 review. Dynell and I will be back Friday for our picks episode, coming off of our winning week. We are still in the green for the contest.
Yes, sir.
We are 6 games above 500 now, even after that awful stretch.
Damn,
so
we're only 6. We're 6. That's wild.
Yeah. So
that's wild.
You would think we're at 500 or under, but that's how I just showed you how hot we are at the beginning of the season. So we're going to stick to our guns. We're not going to be scared of these ugly games. We're going to stick to our guns. So this has been our week 15 episode for the preview. Follow us on Twitter or X, whatever it is, at @shredthespread_. If anything changes for the next episode, we will give our 5 picks. We will give our survivor pick of the week. Even though the Packers went down last week. We'll see. Survivor's just been a mess. I know a lot of pools have dropped off because there were so many upsets last week. But this has been our week 15 preview show for the Shred the Spread podcast. I'm Jared. He's my co-host Dynell, and for our awesome producer Tyler. We will be back on Friday for our picks edition. Until next time, we'll see you.
Peace.